Welcome to episode 177 of the Forward from 50 podcast, where we interview people over 50 pursuing new direction for their lives. It's an opportunity for men and women to tell their stories, their way, and in their own words. I'm Greg Gerber, the founder of Forward from 50, and your host for today's show. Today's guest is Michelle Lyman. She's a former medical device engineer who spent more than 35 years helping to develop products that improve people's lives. But after turning 50, Michelle discovered that success isn't about building a career, it's about building a life that's aligned with your values, family, and purpose. In this episode, Michelle shares how she found the courage to leave a successful corporate career and pursue a completely different path as an entrepreneur. First, you'll hear why personal growth often has to happen before professional growth, and how investing in yourself can open doors you never imagined. Second, Michelle explains why it's never too late to reinvent yourself, even after decades in one profession, and why following your dreams may be less risky than staying where you're no longer fulfilled. Finally, she talks about the importance of planning for the future. She describes how years of disciplined saving gave her the confidence to make major life change, and why financial preparation can create the freedom to pursue work that truly matters. If you've ever wondered whether it's too late to start over, or whether there's something more meaningful waiting for you after you turn 50, I think you'll enjoy hearing Michelle's story. To tell us more about what gives her life more meaning and purpose after turning 50, please welcome Michelle Lyman to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Michelle. I really appreciate the time. I understand that you were an engineer who worked in medical device development. What kind of devices were you creating in your career?
Yes, actually, I've been in the medical device industry for over 35 years, and I had developed or worked on projects that developed a whole myriad of types of products that were some were more life-saving than others. Things like stents for the esophagus, so disposable, implantable kind of devices. And then over the course of my career, it changed to more mechanical kind of equipment, such as bone density measuring equipment or imaging or things of that sort. So it's been a wide array of different things, but all with the intention of helping people.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds fascinating to be able to do that, way above my comprehension as to what it takes to develop medical devices. But then to know that what you're developing is actually saving lives has to feel really good.
It does. It felt amazing. And partway through my career in engineering, I shifted gears more into project management. So I got to see so much of how the whole process works and also be able to bring those products to realization.
I don't think people have a clue as to the process that's involved in creating medical devices. All the regulatory stuff that you have to go through.
Exactly.
And the design to make sure it doesn't fail once it's inside the bodies and things like that. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. Yeah, there is a lot to it. It's definitely a lot of learning and a lot of cool technology and ways of doing things.
About 5 years ago, you started a side business, though, that went in a completely different direction. Tell us about that.
Yes, it seems different. It's similar and different. Yes, 5 years ago, actually 5.5 probably by now, I did start a side business because a friend had shared some amazing products with me. And the first product that I started was with a brain health supplement. And with my science background, I was really interested in trying something that had that much science and innovation behind it. So I started with that. And then as I was using different products, I started using skincare products and hair care and all these beauty and wellness products that I absolutely fell in love with and decided to start sharing that with others. So I can help people, again, just in a completely different way, and use some of my engineering and science background is what kind of intrigued me about this particular brand that I'm now partnered with.
I'm typically not a guy. I'm a guy, so I don't wear makeup that often as women. But I know a lot of women do because they feel good when they look good. How does that seem to work at our age? Is it still applicable as it was when we were 13, 15 years old?
You know, what's really interesting is, so the products, for me, it's all about the skincare. I don't actually wear makeup. I'm wearing lipstick, so I look good for our podcast here. But I find that if you have good skincare, then you don't need the makeup to cover it up. You're using makeup to enhance things. And what I've learned also in this business around skincare is things that you need in your 20s to start taking care of your skin then, because in the mid 20s, you start actually losing collagen. And not many people realize that. So you are going to want to take care of your skin no matter what age you are, no matter what age you start. And there may be different needs along the way as to the type of skincare products you may want to consider. Like in your 20s, you may only need a really good cleanser and maybe a moisturizer, and that's it. And as you get older, you may decide to add more targeted types of products. And the nice thing about the brand that I'm partnered with is men and women use the same products. So you can use the same products that I use and get amazing results.
When we're talking about body care, what kinds of things are we talking about and that for products?
For body care, some of the things that we have, a firming lotion that is good for the neck down. So as people age or lose weight, you'll start seeing cellulite or dimpling or sagging or things that you don't really want to see. The other thing that not everybody realizes, so you take care of your face with the skincare, but what about the neck? So you want to be able to take care of that as well. So our body contour firming cream is great for the neck down, it tightens, tones, cellulite, gets rid of cellulite, all the things. So now we have a complete solution for the face, not only from the surface, but what's really cool is we launched a whole new market segment over the past year that addresses structural aging on a deeper level on the face and even the lips. We just launched one for the lips. Lips age faster than the skin, and we don't realize that. That's where we notice things first. And prior to these products, a lot of people would turn to injectables like fillers and Botox. And that's fine. People can still do that. It's not addressing the structural piece in the same way. It's also more of a temporary solution that you have that's not addressing the root cause. And the root cause is really the structural differences that you're noticing over time, over age.
Is that something we really have to pay attention to regardless of where we live, or are there certain areas of the country where we really have to pay attention to it, like Arizona, for example?
Yeah, you want to pay attention to it everywhere, because even if you're not out in the sun all the time, you're still exposed to blue light from your screens. You're still exposed to environmental stressors no matter where you are. That's going to affect your skin, not only the sun. So yes, you want to take care of your skin no matter where you live. You might have different things that you may need to do slightly tweak because of hydration or things like that. There may be targeted things you may consider, but in general, yes, you want to take care of your skin no matter where you live, and you want to make sure you use your sunscreen every single day, whether you're outside, inside, every day.
Even inside?
Even inside,
Oh
because we're sitting in front of our computer screens. And what I didn't realize was that's actually more damaging to your skin than the sun.
Really? Okay.
Really? And the sunscreen that we offer actually has protection for that, not just for the sun.
That's interesting to note. I'd never thought of that, but you're right. We're talking about radiation kind of thing, and that can have that impact as well in ways that we don't even realize it.
Exactly. That's where the environmental stressors could affect your skin's barrier. So that's why I say that taking care of your skin, no matter where you live or what you're doing, is a good idea, because even dust or EMFs or whatever it may be could affect your skin.
So do you just sell the products, or do you provide teaching courses and things like that to help people understand why they need it?
Yes, I mostly promote and sell. We're all selling something, right? So yes, I sell and market the products. I do some education with my social media, and I have done some workshops before for targeted groups if that's something of interest. And I also mentor others to be able to promote these products as well. So if somebody wants to do what I'm doing and be able to get their product for free and maybe even make some income on the side like I do, I also mentor others for that.
I understand you got into personal development as well, because it can look nice but still feel bad on the inside.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the one. There are a couple of side benefits with this type of business model. One is there's a huge emphasis on personal development in the company that I'm partnered with and in general. So as an entrepreneur, we learn. And if we're not doing personal development, then it's not going to go very far. You need to work on yourself first, and you want to feel good on the inside. And we do have wellness products that help with that too. But from a personal perspective, you want to focus on yourself first.
Okay. And what kinds of things do you teach with the personal development?
I don't specifically teach on personal development. I teach more on skincare, how to take care of your skin, some of the things that you can do, some of the lifestyle aspects to it. And on the personal development side, I always like to recommend some of the books that I've read that have been impactful. And I just like sharing knowledge and sharing things with others. So because you don't know how you're going to be able to help and impact somebody else's life just by sharing something that you found that could help and benefit them.
That's a very good point. So that's a great segue into your book. I understand you recently worked with a bunch of other women to kind of co-author a book. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this has been, and honestly, if I hadn't done the personal development or had this business, I don't know that I would have gone outside of my comfort zone to that extent to be able to write a chapter in a book. The book is called Six Figure Chicks, and the mastermind behind it is Mel Carr. This is the 9th book in a series, and there are 10 of us basically telling our story about how we got to a six-figure income, whether it's through corporate, entrepreneurship, a combination, however we got there, and what roadblocks we may have come across along the way so that we can help others navigate that in their particular situation. This particular edition is a global edition, and some of the other books in the series are targeted to a particular state or location.
Okay. How are they doing it?
Going global. So we're international bestsellers, and we just launched last Saturday.
Well, that's very good. Congratulations. I don't think people realize what it takes to publish a book and to sit down and actually convey your thoughts in written form in a way that is clear, concise, and easy for people to understand.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a whole growth opportunity as well. It's really good to be able to bring your voice or stories out there so that others can benefit by it.
I would imagine. And so it's available for sale now on Amazon, or do you have to go somewhere else? Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy to share the links so we can put it in the podcast notes and people can access it.
Excellent. Do you have plans to write any more books?
There'll be one for Boston because I'm from the Boston area. So I can choose to either keep the same chapter or a continuation. I haven't quite decided yet which direction I'm going to go on that. So who knows? Wonderful.
One of the things that I admire about you as well is that you took it upon yourself to adopt a child, and you have an 11-year-old.
Yes.
At your age. And that's pretty cool. So that's got to keep you young.
It does. Yeah. Between the products that I use to make me look the way I do at 58. But yes, we chose to adopt. Typical thing, got married in my early 40s and the biological clock didn't quite cooperate. So we chose the adoption path and have an amazing 11-year-old son who is the light of our life. And what I'm doing, and the fact that not only did I have this long-time corporate career, started a side business, and actually I left my corporate career, and I'm like a week into not working at corporate anymore and focusing on other things because I want to show him that he can do anything he wants to do. I want to show him that legacy and what life could be like if you got to do the things you wanted to do.
Absolutely. That is an important lesson to convey. And congratulations on stepping away from the corporate career. Was that difficult for you?
It was a long time coming in a way. 2 years ago, I'll just give a little context here, but 2 years ago, I was laid off from the job that I had. I was at a startup company. They ran out of funding. And at that time, it was quite jarring. Like one day I had an income, the next day I didn't. So I was doing a bit of soul searching then and decided to go back into corporate. But what I realized over the past 2 years is it really didn't align with my life anymore. Having done this entrepreneurial journey and learning a lot about how I'm wired and about my human design, I just felt like it was no longer in alignment and bringing the joy. And I wanted to be there more for my son instead of trying to rush out of work so that I can just make it there to his baseball game on time. It just didn't feel right anymore. And while the products and the types of things that I did do help people, it just, my lifestyle needed to shift. So it was a lot of thought, a lot of contemplation, a lot of figuring things out from a financial standpoint. Is this possible? And then it finally came to the decision, okay, now's the time. I can do this.
I know a lot of people stay in their corporate careers because they are too worried about finances and things like that. And how did you overcome that?
So the finance piece, it was interesting. I've always been somebody who and I talk about this in my book as well, as to how I got here, of being raised by parents who instilled the importance of saving, investing in a 401k early. So I was very fortunate that I had that. And so after a career of 35 plus years and then meeting with a financial advisor, I'm like, oh, I'm absolutely we're pretty good here. We're pretty close to our retirement goals. And so that helped a ton. I had money saved up available for the eventualities, but also from an investment standpoint, I was in a better spot than I thought I was, because my mind was, I don't need that now. When I retire, then I'll look at it. So I just kind of save and forget about it. And so when I really paid closer attention, and I highly advise people to do that, know where you're at. It's like, my thought was like, I don't need that, so I'm not even going to look at it. But once I did, I'm like, oh my gosh, all this hard work is finally paying off, and gave me the ability to say, you know what? I don't have to keep working in this particular, I don't have to be tied to that identity of that particular income source. Because we end up, that becomes our identity. And so there was a lot of work around that I did from, again, coming back to the personal development of recognizing that I don't have to be tied to that specifically. So once I got to that place and started doing the commute, because the job was about an hour plus to get to and from work, I'm like, you know what, this is just doesn't make sense. Why am I doing this?
That's right. Absolutely. Were your friends and family supportive?
My friends were really proud of me. It's all about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Exactly.
Positive people. And that's the other side benefit of this side gig, or now my primary gig, is that they were super supportive. I had seen a lot of people already do this, transition out of corporate. Between all the networking that I've done for my business, I've met so many people who have done exactly what I wanted to do. So I had a lot of support there. And I wasn't sure about how my family was going to take it. And honestly, what my dad had said to me was, it seems like you put a lot of thought into this. That's great. So he's been watching and following my journey with my business and seeing some of the things that I shared about the book and all these things. So he felt he was actually proud of me because I put a lot of thought into it. And I did. Some people can easily just say, you know what, I'm done with this and move on.
Right.
I wasn't ready for that 2 years ago when I got laid off, because I could have just said, forget corporate, and I wasn't there yet. But now, after going through all of that, I realized now I am there. So I put in a lot of thought. So far, everybody has been very supportive, which is great.
That's great. It mirrors my story when I stepped away from a business that I owned and then tried to get back into it 18 months later. It was an entirely different experience. There was no joy in that at all. So that's cool that you were able to do this and go out and develop this side business into an actual business, or a real full-time business. Now, it has always been a real business, but that you're serving other people now. Yeah. If you had to turn the clock back, is there anything you do differently with your life?
I don't think so, because all of those experiences made me who I am today. I don't know what it would look like if I had changed something. So I feel good about the path that I've been on and how it got me to where I am today. So yeah, I don't think I would change anything. Maybe I would have, instead of buying product, I would have started this business sooner, perhaps, because I didn't know what I didn't know. When I started doing it, I'm like, this is fun. Why didn't I do this sooner? So maybe that, but other than that, No.
Yeah, a lot of people think they do a whole bunch of things different with their life, and they don't realize that they're just bringing a whole bunch of different problems that they don't envision anyway,
Right.
right?
And you don't know how changing something would turn out. And it
That's
really, it shapes who you are, and you wouldn't be the same person. So I don't think I would change anything dramatically. I might have just started this business sooner because I didn't know what it was going to be like. But now that I do, yeah.
Do you have any advice for people over 50 who may be struggling with what to do to give their lives more meaning and purpose?
My biggest advice is follow your dreams. Don't think that you're too old to start something new and to pivot.
Right.
Because 50 is felt like it was super old when I was young and saw my dad turning 40. I thought he was like so old. But nowadays, 50 is not that old, and it's certainly not too old to start something new. If you're considering leaving corporate and doing the thing, just do it. Life is too short, and that is something that I have definitely played into my decision to leave corporate. Is life is too short. I have seen so many people in my orbit, if you will, that have lost close family members or different situations, that it's just do it.
That's
There's
right.
no reason to hold back and wait for the right moment. It's never going to be the right moment.
We always talk about a second half of life, and that is more true today than ever, because the first half, the first 25 years of our life, building our careers, etc. And then when we step away from that in our 50s, we still have 20 to 25 years of viability left, if not more. And it's, so super.
And you don't have to keep banging your head against the wall with something that is not aligned. Fine, if it's not aligned, then find the thing that is aligned and do that, because why waste time being miserable when you don't have to? Sometimes there are certain circumstances, which I understand that it's not that straightforward. It's not black and white necessarily, but just because you're in your 50s does not mean that you can't pivot or do something new.
That's right. Is there anything else you'd like people to know about you or your business?
There's different ways to connect with me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I've shifted my LinkedIn profile a little bit, but I spend most of my time on Facebook and Instagram, and we can post some links in the notes. One thing I will say, I do offer a free complimentary skin scan. So if you're wondering what the health of your skin is, I have an AI-powered analysis tool that can help you figure that out. And I do offer consultations to review the results and help you find the right things for your goals and simplify your routine.
That's fascinating. And you don't have to be in person to get this scan done?
Nope. I send you a link and you do it from your phone.
Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Well,
Yeah,
super.
it's very intriguing, very helpful, because it helps take the guesswork out. And sometimes we're shooting in the dark of what do we need? How do we know? And this scan can help navigate that a little bit easier.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing your story with me today, Michelle. I really appreciate it. It looks like your life is...
I'm so happy to be on this. And this is such a great thing that you're doing to get people's stories out there.
We think so. Hopefully it'll inspire other people who have been caught in their corporate environment and realize that it's just... things have changed and it's no longer motivating and inspiring and energizing them, and they need to make a shift like you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you.
Happy to help others.
Thank you again. Michelle Lyman reminded us today that purpose doesn't have an expiration date. After spending decades designing medical devices that improved lives, she discovered that helping people can take on many different forms. Today, she enjoys mentoring others, educating people about wellness and skincare, and encouraging them to believe that meaningful change is possible at any age. Perhaps the biggest lesson from our conversation is that we don't have to stay stuck in careers that no longer fit our plans, dreams, and desires. With thoughtful planning, personal growth, and a willingness to trust yourself, the second half of life can become your most fulfilling chapter. To learn more about Michelle, connect with her on Facebook and on Instagram. She also offers complimentary AI-powered skin assessments and consultations to help people better understand their skin health. Her book, Six Figure Chicks, is available at Amazon and in other bookstores. That's all for this week's show. If you'd like to start living a more meaningful life, I encourage you to download our free guide to finding purpose, which is available at forwardfrom50.com. I'll have another inspirational interview on the next episode of the Forward from 50 podcast. Thank you for listening, and if you like this show, please consider leaving a review wherever you download the episodes.